Welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a co-ople of nerds.
We got a 6-pack of board games and a 6-pack of beer. You want to know what we think about them? Stay tuned after this. Do you hate sick kids?
You can't say that. Don't say hate.
Do you love when kids get sick?
You somehow made it worse. Don't say love.
Okay, yeah, no love, no hate. Got it. When you see sick children, do you think, I could eat?
We have once again paired up with the Meeple Society and Extra Life to raise money for children's hospitals all over the U.S.
On June 7th and 8th, 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be running a 24-hour gaming marathon live stream. And that's going to be broadcasted on our channel as well as the Meeple Society's.
And people who donate will be entered to a contest to win some of our games.
Wait, what? Our games? See you then. Bye-bye. Alright, so up first is beer. Longbourn Island.
Longboard. Island Lager.
That's exactly what it said.
You said Longbourn.
I said Longbourn.
Go back and watch that damn.
Well, I've had 6 of these.
That's pretty good.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's not too bad. It's not too. I know I like hops. You don't like hops. I thought it'd be a little fruitier. With it being Hawaiian, I thought maybe, I don't know, like pineapple or something.
This definitely is a nice summer beer, though.
You could see ourselves drinking this in Hawaii.
In Hawaii, I don't know. That's a rather expensive trip.
Liquid Aloha. You don't even need Hawaii when you're drinking.
Exactly. We'll just hang out in the backyard.
Longbourn Island Lager.
We'll just hang out in the backyard. It's much cheaper that way.
If you drink enough of them, you'll think you're anywhere. Hawaii, Mars, doesn't matter.
The backyard is your playground.
Up first, Fire. Now, we actually did a review of this a while ago.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how our opinions have changed.
My opinion has not changed. I'm pretty sure I didn't like it then, and I'm pretty sure I continue to not like it now.
So, this game is a heavy math game in which you need to get a certain equation out, right? Because whatever your power is, minus 10 times the number of cards you get. If you hit 10, you just fire at 0 and destroy a battery. So, it's basically an algebra problem. But you don't get to pick your cards.
They're randomly drawn.
They're randomly drawn from the deck. So, it's like imagine doing algebra and not being able to use whatever numbers you would like to use. You have to randomly draw them. So, I don't hate it as much as Mary. Well, why don't you say?
So, it's not necessarily that much math. You're making it sound extremely complicated. When you say the word algebra, you scare people. So you basically have these 2 ships, and you have to shoot the aliens, and you have to charge up your ships with batteries, and the batteries have values anywhere from 0 to 4. And
well, maybe in later iterations, because you keep adding cards as you progress through the.
And then these aliens have certain values, and so you have to charge up a certain amount, and there is an equation to it, because it's not just like you add up the numbers. It's like you add up the numbers times the number of cards. I don't know. And that's your value of the shot. And if the shot isn't enough, you don't hit them. Right. But every time you take a shot, you lose a battery. And it first of all, there wasn't much to it. And then second of all, there's a lot of luck involved. And it's really hard. We won. And I feel like that was the first time we've ever won it.
So yeah, it is very tough. There is a math problem, and like I said, it's probably a little too luck heavy for us. I think we want games to have a little more strategy. And this, I mean, if you just top deck, like as you're playing, you're like, if I don't draw my 4, I think the game's over with.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll draw it, maybe you won't. But so Fire, although I do really love the artwork, it's that classic Space Invaders artwork. I'm not sure if that'll show up on camera real well, but classic Space Invaders artwork, which is cool, but just not much of a game here.
Yeah.
And that is a cooperative 1 to 2 player game.
We do like the cooperative games.
Yes. Speaking of cooperative games, Forbidden Island. So this, if you've played Pandemic, this is very similar. You are on a sinking island. You need to get the 4 treasures and get to the helipad before the whole thing sinks.
It's really pretty. The tiles that come with it are very pretty.
I think the only knock on this is the damn box. These damn tins, I don't know why. I mean, it's like tradition now. All of them have this tins, but it's like a metal tin. And so you have the lip here. And so it doesn't lay flush with other games. Or sit flush on your shelf. But this is great. We've played this game several times. I think we actually lost when we replayed it. Is this the one we lost or the other one?
We lost one of
We
them.
might have lost both of them.
No, we won. We won one of them.
Okay, I think we won Forbidden Island. I think we lost the next game we'll talk about. What'd you think?
Oh yeah, I love these games.
Yeah. So it's very Pandemic. It's if you're paying too much attention trying to protect the island from sinking, other things are going to go wrong. If you spend too much time digging for treasure, the island's going to sink too fast. Etc., etc., etc. You get player powers. If you like Pandemic but want something a little bit different.
It's slightly lighter. I would say it's slightly lighter.
I think they're pretty dang close. Speaking of pretty dang close, Forbidden Desert, the metal tin is back.
So it plays the same way, but instead of a sinking island, you were being buried in sand.
Right. So what do they call it? Sandstorm. Kind of goes around the board and fills up the board with sand. You're trying to recover the 5 pieces of your ship that blew up and fly away. This one we did lose.
Yeah. I think we lost it kind of quickly.
So there's these cards that the sun will beat down, and if you get to
you have a water gauge.
Basically you have a hydration meter, and once that runs out, which basically is like time, or if you have to place a sand tile and you can't, so if it's too full of sand, you lose. It plays very similar to Forbidden Island, which is very similar to Pandemic, but we really like that.
There's a couple in that series.
Yep.
We have Forbidden Forest. It's just further down the line.
Yeah. There's another one, Forbidden Skies.
We did not like that one.
And that was the one everyone said is bad.
Yeah.
So, speaking of cooperative games,
Flashpoint.
Fire Rescue.
Again, another Pandemic feel game.
Yeah, that Pandemic kind of set the bar of how people need to design cooperative games, and a lot of people followed in their footsteps.
Pandemic was my gateway game. That was the game that got me wanting to play more board games.
So Flashpoint, you are a team of firefighters, and there is a fire, and you need to save people. Now, they call them points of interest because you don't know if it's a person or nothing.
Yeah. You might go there and turn over the tile and it's nothing. So
Forbidden Island, what I like about it is you can shape the island any way you can. They've got a dozen different examples, and I'm sure you can find 6 dozen more online. Now Pandemic does have the same world map. And this one actually has 2 different locations, just one opposite sides of the board. And basically, like I said, it's very similar. So you roll dice to determine where new fires start. So you roll a dice. If there's nothing there, you add smoke. If there's already smoke there, it turns into fire. If there's already fire there, then it starts like a chain reaction explosions, similar to Pandemic, where there's an outbreak.
Yep.
Now, the thing about this game is you can only have 3 points of interest on the board at once. And so you need to rescue, I don't know, 7, 8 people or whatever. Sometimes you go to a point of interest and it's just nothing. Mm-hmm. And then you roll dice and determine where the next point of interest is. The problem with that is it doesn't feel thematic that you could pass through this hallway half a dozen times and not see this guy laying there.
And then a new point of interest.
And then randomly a new point of interest comes, and all of a sudden the guy's there.
That's where the new point of interest goes. And he could be someplace that you just were.
Yeah.
And it's like, how did I miss that?
And you don't have to save everybody, so you can let people burn to death.
That's terrible.
I know a lot of people hate that because there's also animals in this game.
Yeah.
So the dog and cat can burn to death.
Save the animals first.
So we just talked about Forbidden Island. We just talked about Forbidden Desert. We've already went through, well, we may have not gone through Pandemic yet. But we've talked about Pandemic so much on this damn channel that you know that we like Pandemic and we're going to keep Pandemic. We talked about Dead Man Tell No Tales. And all of these games have this same sort of core mechanic. Now there's different colors and different flavors and all that, but same core game. And with that being said, I think it's time to send old Flashpoint a bid him farewell.
For some reason, this one just didn't stick with me as something that I wanted to keep around.
I think it's exceptionally similar to Dead Men Tell No Tales. But the whole skeleton pirate, every time you play, the ship is different. Instead of carrying out people, and this time I'm carrying out treasure. Mm-hmm. It's not just random treasures just popping up in the ship everywhere. The randomness of that points of interest, it completely rips me out of the theme of it. Just, there's no way. I walked over that exact spot 6 times. There's no way there's a dude there. And then, one other weird thing, if you have to put a point of interest and it's in the middle of fire, that fire just goes out. And it's like we got lucky, I think, a couple times in which point of interest would have stopped a giant explosion because it just landed right in the middle of this big fire.
Put the fire out. You just kind of fell through.
And it's like, okay, well, that's nice. So I think old Flashpoint's gonna hit the sale pile. Up next, we played this with the Meeple Society, which we are doing a 24-hour live stream, June 7th and 8th. Don't forget, Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. I don't know if I ever got your thoughts on this. Why don't you tell everyone what you think about it?
So, Deception, Murder in Hong Kong is, there's a murderer. And then there's investigators, right? Is that what they were? And it was really... So I was the murderer this time. And you have...
Cut that sniff.
You have...
Cut off right before this time.
So you were the... And what were you?
I was the forensic scientist.
Yeah, so I know the clues.
I know... Basically, it's kind of like Clue. You're trying to figure out... So everyone is a cop or a forensic scientist. One of the cops is dirty and they're a murderer. Mm-hmm. They have a clue and a weapon. And so you're trying to get the other 2 in this case, we played 4 players. As a forensic scientist, you're trying to get the other 2 detectives to find the clue and find the weapon.
In turn, because their cards are face up, that tells you who did it, because that weapon and that clue go with that person.
So as a forensic scientist, you got these boards with, I think, 6 different options, and you're trying to place these little tokens, they're shaped like bolts, which is kind of cool, onto what descriptive words or what, like in your case, you slit a throat. So it's like condition of body or reason of death or whatever, and it was like bleeding. Yeah. So that could tell people that the method of killing was slit throat, and so you look all the investigators can look at everyone's clues and be like, well, you know, they would bleed out if they got their throat slit. Well, they would also bleed out if they lost an arm, you know.
Got bit by a dog.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would bleed out from a dog bite.
Well, I mean, in this case,
the
story was
yes,
that they died by a dog. I'm assuming they bled out. But just saying.
Could have been a rabbit dog. They died of rabies.
That's terrible. But if you're weaponizing a dog...
What's better to weaponize rabbit dog? Look at Clifford.
Can you? Our dog is not rabid. He's had all his shots. So, I just, it's one of those, like, it's not like hidden movement, but it's like hidden clues kind of game.
It's hidden roll. So it's a deduction game. You're trying to figure out...
I like deduction games. I typically really like deduction games. Maybe it's the hidden roll I'm not a fan of.
The hidden roll.
Yeah.
I like this game. It's a party game. It plays 4 to 12. So there's not many games in our collection I'll play up to 12. Not many times we're playing the game with that many people either, but I do think it'd be cool to get a great big group and trying to figure out...
Well, we did one time.
What's that?
We did one time. We got a pretty big group. Too much drinking was involved.
Oh.
Some people, the murderer didn't know that they were the murderer.
Sometimes you deceive yourself. You're such a good liar. So I think we're gonna hang on to this one.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe it's not your favorite game, but I think it's a fun party game. So up next we got Downforce. Wait, you weren't in here for this. Okay, Georgie, what did you think of Downforce?
I think all of the cards are gonna win except the black one.
Camera.
I think all the cards are gonna win except Mo's writing.
So you like that there's a whole bunch of different cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daddy put special cars in his, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we got Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Back to the Future car, the Batmobile, Fast and the Furious car, and the Jurassic Park Jeep. So did you have fun playing this game?
Wait, can I see the Jurassic Park Jeep?
Yeah, you played it both times. Remember?
I'm gonna play it.
The green one?
Yeah. All of these cards. Dump them out. Get all these.
No. Georgia, it's just a quick video. The Jurassic Park Jeep. Okay, so what'd you like about the game? Tell them.
I liked about the game that all of the cards were winning.
Yeah. And what didn't you like about the game?
Like last weekend, my Jurassic Park car wins, even though it's a Jeep.
Yeah, your Jurassic Park car won the last race. So do you like this game? Do you want to keep it?
Yes.
Yes? Alright, say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Bye. See, Mommy was in Florida and you got to play Downforce with Daddy. What did you think?
I love the color.
Camera.
I love the colors and the cars, like driving on the board.
You like the colors of the cars?
Uh-huh.
So what did you like about it?
What I really liked about it is, you can pick your own characters. Well, my dad kind of likes me to use yellow and orange because those are the only two girls.
I didn't tell you to pick yellow and orange. You picked those because they're both the girls.
I know, but you said no, George.
Well,
no.
Georgie tried to pick one of your favorite drivers, so I said no to Georgie. So what did you not like about the game?
I did not like that you had to the coins, You
Like
like
pick who's gonna win the betting part.
yeah, instead of this like who gets in first place, because it's kind of more fair if people get in first place and they win the game.
She won the race but lost the game, so she's a little bitter. So do you think we should keep it?
Yes.
Or would you like to play it again?
Yes.
All right, say bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, what are you doing back? Oh, use my pen pan. Wrong one.
Terrible person.
So you've played Downforce before. You didn't play it in this particular run. We played it when you were out of town. But do you remember much about it?
Yeah.
The racing and the gambling. So basically, everyone bids on a car. And you get all your cards first. You can kind of see which car you think will do well. So all these cards will have a certain number of spaces they can move for each color of car. Not every card has every color, but so you can kind of look at your hand and be like, oh well, I'm gonna move yellow a lot this game, so let me I'm gonna try to auction highly on yellow. Or if you have I got no black at all, you're probably not gonna pick black. So you get points in this game by how your car performs in the race, as well as you can also bet on the race.
Like who's going to win? And
Right.
if you don't think you're going to win, you're going to bet on somebody else.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if the first time we played this at Dice Tower Retreat, I had a really big lead, but I was being modest, oh well, someone's obviously going to pass me. And so even though my car won, then I did bet on myself the last turn. This other lady just bet on me over and over and over, and she ended up outscoring me because she had more faith in my car than I had in my own car. And so it's really interesting. So you can win without your car doing well in the race, which
is how it happened with the children. And you like to tell the children that they lost the game even though they won the race.
Won the race, lost the war. Well, so let me tell you something about Georgie. Okay, he has this underdog mentality, and it's not I don't think it's going to be the front car. He's I got my money on the fifth racer. I'm like, Georgie, the race is almost done. It's our last bet. How? And then won't even play cards associated with that color. I think Gracie just picks her own cards.
Every time.
Yeah, every time.
She has a lot of confidence in herself.
So, I just, like I said, I didn't win either race, but bet on their cars and won. So, Gracie refused to acknowledge that any other car can win, and Georgie just likes the underdog, so it's easy to win this game. But I like racing games. You're kind of iffy on racing games.
Yeah.
I think this one is...
It's a little different.
It's fast enough. It's not super complicated. I mean, if Georgie... maybe his strategy was flawed, but he played this game by himself.
Yeah.
He picked which cars to play. He picks, we gave Gracie the two girls racers, but that's just, so we didn't auction the cars. We just kind of picked. But, any game that they can play, that's also fun for us. And again, it goes all the way up to 6 players, which is nice. It says 30 to 45 minutes, but if you know how to play this game, I think we were getting done in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. So we'll hang on to that one. So we'll keep 4 and get rid of 2. So what's your final thoughts on Longboard Island Lager?
It's good. It's good. It's a good, it's not going to be my go-to beer. But again, I think this is nice for a hot day.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a pool, sitting by the pool with a beer.
You hated the idea of getting the pool. And then you forced us to sell that house.
I did not force us to sell that house. You forced me to sell that house.
I did not force you to. Now we have a neighborhood pool. We could take these and go over there.
I don't think you can
Yes,
you?
you can. Who's gonna stop you?
I don't know. The HOA?
What are they gonna do? Send a nasty email?
They can fine you money. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. Is it like public intox or something if you bring a beer over there?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think anyone's gonna care. I would imagine most people would have. Even if it's not beer, they're gonna have some sort of beverage while being out in the sun. So what's the difference if it's beer or not? You could say, well, no glass bottles. Cool, we'll get a can.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, I agree. It's not too bad. We got it at Walmart, so it's not hard to find.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it. Let us know what game sounds the most interesting to you, and if you'd like to see us do a full playthrough of any of these games. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Did you fly off to a tropical paradise and leave me here with the kids?
I really wish I could say that. I would not call it a tropical paradise. I wouldn't say I had any fun.
Did you have to deal with kids?
No. Yes. Yes. Just older kids.
60-year-old kids?
70 and 90-year-old kids.
Why was I upside down? I'm Mommy, yeah. I talked in there. What? Was I silly?
Yes, you're always silly.